Hello everyone and welcome to the Disc Golf Guys live podcast taking place at the Brick House here at the 2017 Jonesboro Open. I am joined by Jennifer Allen as my first ever guest, and I want to say, first of all, thank you for your patience.
You're always welcome.
And trying to get things up and running here. Of course, I got to thank Johnny V. This is the first time that I've ever been able to work with a full broadcasting system. This is normally Johnny V's realm. And I'm learning as I go.
Are you taking both jobs? Are you completely sorry, Johnny V, you're out of here?
No. It's just what happens is Johnny V works all day and doing what he does for the live broadcast. And then so many nights I'm doing the podcasting on site, and he kind of just hangs out. And
so he's bored. And
he gets a little bored.
He's actually breaking up with you.
Yes.
It's not that.
There's something of that nature.
Sometimes Johnny V, you gotta move on. It's
no,
okay.
and that's all right. So I'm taking on a few tasks. So I'm going to be clicking buttons and trying to make sure that everything's going smoothly. Hopefully everybody sees what's going on. It looks like it's on the internet,
yeah.
So it must be true.
Yeah.
It
happened.
I know you've got a lot of things going on, and you're busy, and there's a whole probably car of people waiting for you. But let's start with where you're at for this weekend. How are things going?
Pretty good. There wasn't a huge difference in my rounds, except for I stayed out of Ivy a little bit today.
Okay.
This course sets up if you miss your line by an inch, you're screwed, or you 2 feet over and you have a great round. So I shot 8 strokes better today, but it wasn't it was a completely different round. I had great shots. The first day, that's what we were kind of talking about earlier. My rating the first day was, I think it ended up at 915. I was like, wow, I had some great shots. 915, that's kind of rough. But we are separated from the men because we have different paths.
Slightly shorter tees on 7 of the holes.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. A couple of them, it's like, what? Why? Some of them are kind of harder, I think, like hole 16. We have to just dump a little precise on the edge of a hill layup, 150-foot layup shot to go across the water, and it would be just as easy to throw a 300-foot shot.
Sure.
Probably easier.
Okay.
Anyways.
Well, so there's 7 tees that are a little bit shorter. Some are substantially shorter. Some are just a little bit shorter.
Yeah. A few feet.
So the scores aren't completely comparable from the men's to the women's rounds, but again, you guys have some significant challenge out there. I saw that you moved up. You technically moved up a spot, but you got a little bit closer to everyone else that's on the lead card, and you shot what is the hottest round of all the women today.
Yes.
So you shot a 4 under. Sarah Hokom shot a 3 under. We see Jessica Weiss with a -1, and then Paige Pierce shot a +2, who was in the lead. She had a very up and down round.
And it's so easy to do that there.
It is.
She might have just been off by inches, and looking that she shot a 6 on 16 today, I did the same thing yesterday, and I had looked back when we were teeing off on 17, and I knew where she was because I did the same thing. There's a throw a spike hyzer with my Firebird right in front of that tree, and I thought I threw it perfect on the first day. I was like, yes, that's exactly where I wanted it. But I guess there's a little hard spot that if you hit, it skips and rolls down. And so it looked like she got into the exact same spot that I did the first day, and there was no shot across the water. And so I tried one, it was unsuccessful. I got very lucky, it stayed in bounds. So throwing 3, I actually threw over hole 6's basket with a huge ante to get over, because there's no other way. There's a huge branch that blocks across the water. And so you get too far to the left and there's nothing.
Well, and I know exactly what you're talking about, because yesterday the card that I was filming and watching along with was Austin Turner, and he found himself way over there and just nothing to do. And then and in watching Paige today, she actually went past the basket on her putt for what I believe is 4.
Okay.
Way up and over the basket. Still had she actually hit off the top of the basket. It went almost 30 feet, almost into the water. And then she had a comebacker, which she didn't convert on. So that hole just
it's tough.
Everywhere was not friendly to her.
That's what I was saying. Taking us 300 feet shorter does not make it an easy hole. It's a tough hole.
It was. So you were halfway through the tournament. You're sitting in 4th place. Now you're just a couple of strokes off that lead card. What's the game plan for tomorrow? Party at the brick house. No. Okay.
Yeah. Slamming my water. No. Same thing, just to try to stay in the middle, stay out of the ivy and ticks. I mean, that's my goal. I don't care what the number is. Like, limit the ivy and ticks. I would like tech new showers like 2-3 times a day. I stood in a tick nest today. I did not know
There's such a thing as a tick nest?
It was one of the grossest things I've ever witnessed in my life.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was scary. I got kicked into the tree on 9, the very large tree there to the right.
Yep.
So at the base of the tree, it wasn't a hard out. I mean, it wasn't easy, but
sure.
Firebird out. I go out to throw a good hyzer up toward the basket, and I look down, and there's literally 20-25 ticks crawling up my legs.
Oh, nice. Not nice.
Yeah, crazy.
Wow.
So I'm like, Des and Melody had already walked up the hill, so they didn't know what was going on. So they were probably like, what's taking her so long? But I was trying to get in the bag, get a wipey, wipe them off. So now I have this baby wipe with all these ticks on it. And I'm like, I don't want to put that in my bag. What do I do with it? And then I was like, I got to throw. Like, it was an experience I've never experienced. And yeah, and so they match. These ticks out here match these perfect size of these little moles. And so every time you look down, you're like, is that a tick? Is it a mole? So
would you say it was a ticky situation?
It was a very ticky situation. And I'm definitely going to spray down tomorrow and be a little more prepared for the ticks.
Okay. I'm not going to lie. There should be a little added pressure. I may have selected you in my fantasy disc golf league for this weekend.
What is this fantasy thing?
Skipace.com. Johnny V runs the show over there. And I knew it was a long course. You're the longest throwing woman in disc golf history. So I gave you the little bump or the little nod there.
Thanks.
So
I had a few people on
need you to
Instagram
move up a few spaces.
say the same thing. Come on, you got to play good. You're on my fantasy. I'm like, what? No pressure. That was like the first round. Like the first throw ever in the Jonesboro Open. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
No pressure.
As we kicked off the Disc Golf Pro Tour, we've traveled. We've both been traveling separately, but I've seen you as we're traveling around. I've seen you in a ton of different places this year. Pro Tour is definitely a priority to you, and you see that.
Well, actually, no. Like it wasn't.
Okay.
I actually just had this talk with Steve Dodge. I asked him. I was like, I haven't looked at any of the other ones. Are they full? Like, can I still sign up? He picked the first series of the tour, whatever, just happened to be the ones I always pick.
Okay.
Springtime is a little slower in my life than the fall. And so I've never hit the East Coast in the fall because I clearly work. My kids play fall sports. I coach in the fall. So it's really hard to take off. And I was telling Steve, I used a year's worth of PPL just between Australia and Vegas.
Yeah.
So continuing all year long, asking for a week off work at a time is pretty rough.
And for those who don't know, what is your daytime job, which you work very hard at?
I'm a physical therapist assistant, and so for 14 years I worked in rehab in a clinic and office, and I think this is my 4th year that I am traveling home to home. I do home health now, which has been wonderful for many reasons, including golf. I can still try to see almost a full week crammed in and do both, work full time and still take off. Clearly not on these 4-day events, that makes it a little tough. I had to take off 3 days, but it also gives me more time with my kids because I felt like I woke them up. I would go to work all day, 10, 12 hours a day, and then put them to bed, and then all I was doing was like getting them in and out of bed. So I can now with my job take them to school, pick them up from school, and actually have time sometimes to practice in daylight instead of nighttime.
Sounds like a very full schedule.
It's always full.
I have 2 kids, which I never get to see, or barely
It
do.
feels like you never see them.
They're not probably awake right now, but hello, Allison and Mackenzie. Hope all is well. Anything else you want to share with everyone that's out there?
No, just keep watching Terry. He does a great job trying to support the women.
Speaking of which, why don't you stick around just for a shot or two?
Okay.
Now, bear with me, folks. This is going to be my first attempt at switching a few shots, so I just want to provide one or two. You just talked about the women.
Yes.
We were out there covering the women earlier today, which then gets spliced into the coverage that we're doing in the afternoon with the men. So, just for instance, it looks like, how about a fellow teammate?
Okay.
I've got a shot
Yes.
queued up here. This is Jessica Weiss for par. Working very hard out there. I believe this was 17.
Okay.
She was down and right. She came. Yeah, this is Jessica Weiss for par, and I think this will work if I click on this little button. Let's see on her par conversion.
See you later.
Or there's some scores.
He tried his first time.
No, it's so
Give him a
close.
break, give him a
Here's
break.
what's gonna happen. How about we'll do this? Hold on. Sorry, there's what the
Huge
scores
one.
are. And
I don't know if I spoiler alert, did I like mess that up?
No,
Did
you're
they
good
see
on that. So I'm gonna try and convert this over, and then what did I do? I know it's supposed to play over there. Johnny.
Help, Johnny, he
All right,
does
let's
it.
go to a different clip that we haven't seen. How about Jessica throwing a shot? This one will work. There. This is
You good?
yeah. There. Did you see that?
I heard you guys yell.
Yes.
I didn't know who threw it or whatnot. I actually went right over the top of that basket too. I thought I was going to get 2 aces today. I almost aced hole 3. It was like a 350.
360, 350, 360. Okay.
Went right behind it. Had a little chip in birdie putt. That was probably the difference in my round. I had a few more birdies today and a few less bogeys. But then I also went right over the top of hole 6 as well. So.
Okay, well, I'm going to see if I can play this yet again. I'm going to click on that, and that's Jessica. I don't know why. I don't know what I need to do to get it to play again, Johnny. I
Johnny, you
think if I
can't
click
leave
up
him.
here,
He needs you.
You can't leave
You
me.
cannot divorce him yet.
I want to change sorts. I don't know why. We see Jessica.
Where's the one that they see? What are they seeing?
They're seeing this as Jessica
Oh,
just
she's
sitting
loving
there.
that.
But okay, let's see if we can play it again. It was perfect, Johnny.
Poor Jessica. I'm
All
sorry.
right.
Terry apologizes for freezing.
All right. Well, we're gonna bring this shot back till I can figure out. I need to figure out how to replay it. You know what I need to do, Johnny?
I don't know. That face is perfect.
It was. What I need to do is I'm just going to click on the shots, and then I know there's a feature where he said something about I don't know. We'll figure it out later. But anyway, thank you for joining us. I'm
You're
going to let you
welcome.
go. I know you got a lot of things. There's a putting competition going on, and
Yeti
Johnny will
finally
give me.
stepped up to putt, so I'm sure it's
Is that what all
over.
the hooting and hollering
Yeah,
is?
Yeti's taking. He let him play around and like act like he was gonna
They're
let him
lucky
win.
I'm up here. I don't got time for any putting
Yeah,
competitions
yeah.
tonight. They're lucky. All right, well, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for joining us. We'll give a recap on the women's side. If you go out to udisclive.com, we see Sarah Hokom in the lead at 5 under, Jessica Weiss at 3, Paige at 2. Jen Allen's hot round today, a 4 down, gets her back to even. So you're just 5 strokes off the lead, 3 off of second, 2
This
off
course,
of third.
anything can happen. I can go out and shoot a 70 tomorrow, or I mean, like it's just like you have to hit your lines and play smart.
All right. Again, Jen Allen, thanks for joining me. Thanks for being my first official guest here. Couldn't make it work, but we'll make it all work one way or another. All right, have a good night.
Keep watching.
Thank you. And I'll take your, let me turn down your mic. And there you go. Yeah, don't drop that mic. Sure, bring on whomever. All right, thank you, dear. See ya. That is, again, Jennifer Allen. And thank you guys for remaining patient. It says, click on the clip, then the circle with the 3 dots, uncheck remember position. I think I should have just left it on loop earlier, is what I should have done. So sorry, I'm going to do a little bit of work here to get this all set up. I don't know where my, click on that, loop. I'm going to, when finished, I don't want it to hold, I want to loop it. So here you go. Here's the shot. I think I know what I'm doing. We're going to see if we can get to the Jessica shot right now. Let's try this again. Why won't it? I just wanted to play, Johnny. Just kidding. Hold set as default. Well, when it's finished, I want it to loop. I'm going to set default, folks. Set default. So it plays perfectly in my preview. However, not so much when I go to the clip. Let's see if we can get it to go again here. 1 second. Uh-oh. Let's see. There we go, folks. And as you're watching this clip, I'm going to let it play a few times through. We're going to get Sarah Hokom, our 2012 Women's World Champion, to step up and join us. And if you could attach that, please, so you're nice and loud. We're going to give you some audio, and we're going to bring back with Sarah Hokom. Hey, Sarah.
Oh, hey, Terry.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Enjoying the nightlife here in downtown Jonesboro.
What is the nightlife here in Jonesboro? Tell us about it.
Well, there's like 3 blocks of like restaurants, bars, shops.
Shops? Okay, I'm just gonna make this a little bit, turn that so we can make it, I'm gonna attach it right to your, there you go, so we're a little bit louder.
Oh,
All
hey.
right, there you go.
No, it's awesome actually. Like, and everybody's super nice here. Like, if you haven't been to Arkansas, Jonesboro, like, and you want to meet some nice people, like, come here.
There's sir and ma'am and doors being held. We talked about kind of the Midwestern hospitality I'm usually used to. Everybody is really nice here.
I'm feeling like we're in the South.
Yes.
Like, straight Bible Belt.
Yes.
Like, good folks here.
Everybody seems to be having a good time. I'd like to thank Chad from here at the Brick House, and Chris and Brad, who helped just, again, even organizing and having us come up here and get all ready. People were all over it, so I appreciate it. All right, so you are in the lead. Look
Go
at that.
figure.
Go figure. Look at this.
Yeah, hey, I
we
was
were
stoked.
Talking with Jen Allen a little earlier. You're looking at 5 under par. You had the second hottest round of the day. You shot a 3 under par, and really the only blemish was hole 9. And then I showed up, and you okay. Well, I showed up and you did birdie 3 out of your last 9 holes.
You're like my bogey-free charm.
Just saying.
You better come the whole time tomorrow.
You
Just
need
so
me out
you
there
know.
more.
How much?
So talk about the round for you out there today.
It was just pretty straightforward, like just throwing golf shots, not trying to throw too far, making sure that I know where. It's easy to get into a rhythm where you feel like you have to just throw as far as you can, out here because it's so long. But just trying to make sure that you're throwing in the fairway and you're ready for your next shot, because they're really the next one is what you need to convert the birdie, really.
Well, and we were a few moments ago, I finally, thanks to everyone's patience, I was able to show Jessica Weiss's ace run on hole number 6. I didn't see that until just now, so that's very cool to see.
It was awesome. It was like the rim is here and the disc just goes like it was one of those, it was like
just inches.
Not even inch, like a millimeter from just going over the rim,
All right.
It was a really awesome shot.
Well, what I was going to do is start looking and see what other kind of shots are in here. Again, Johnny provided me with all of these, so I'm not sure as to what's here. I'm looking at the screen. We see some of the men's highlights. We see another one of Jessica's here. And as I move down the list, I was going to see.
Yeah, honestly, if I was picking shots, I wouldn't pick any of mine as a highlight.
Okay,
I
so
just
maybe
played
that's
solid golf. It's just kind of like, I'm going to throw it over there, and I'm going to throw it over there, and then I'm going to make a little putt, and then or I might miss it. But mostly I'll make them, and there you go. It was, I would say it's nothing spectacular, but, this course, it takes more consistency than spectacularity.
Okay.
To score well.
Well, and that was going to be my next question. Do you feel like you did anything exceptional today? I mean, you clearly played and scored well, but you're saying there was nothing flashy.
I think the only thing exceptional is maybe that I was able to stay focused the whole time and throw a bunch of good shots and not throw too many errant shots.
Okay.
So, that's really, every time you throw a bad shot, you're going to get punished out here. And, the less of them that you can throw, the better you're going to score.
Well,
that's what I think it is.
And I was watching your round. You obviously finished very strong, going 3 down in the final 9 holes of the round. You had 4 birdies and, like I said, just the 1 blemish on 9. in watching your round, also on your card and the day's leader was Paige Pierce. She had a roller coaster. I mean, if you're just looking at her scores, I mean, I saw what was going on. But as you look at UDisc, it's, you know, bogey, birdie, bogey, birdie, birdie, bogey, birdie. You know, it's just, it was a constant roller coaster. Do you ever think about anyone else's round at all in terms of what they're going through or how you're maintaining?
I mean, totally, you know, I mean, try not to, really. You know, you don't really want to, sometimes it's nice to be able to feed off some positive energy of a bunch of birdies. By everybody, you know, but too often it ends up being, you know, one person will throw in a bad shot and then the whole rest of the card just chumps the whole hole, you know, and it's like, you're like, you know, so I actually try to protect myself a little bit by staying in my own world.
I heard you talking during the round at one point about if somebody maybe has the box and if they throw a good shot or not, if that maybe helps set a tone, or, you know, how does that affect?
We try not to let those things affect us, but, you know, I mean, the energy of the card and you know, just the things that are going on, they have like some subconscious things. And, you know, I mean, if you think of like, you know, you watch somebody turn a shot over, you know, and then all of a sudden in your head, you're like, well, don't turn it over, and then you let it go out right, and it just hyzers out on you, you know, like, it's the, you know, things, it's sometimes hard to shut out what's going on around you, but, you know, that's part of the hard part of being a professional, and that's what separates the rest, you know, the good from the great.
Well, and you have 2 rounds. We're only halfway through the tournament. This is a PDGA B tier with 72 holes being played, that's a full weekend and then some, especially on nearly a 8, 9, 10,000 foot course. What about the focus? You know, again, we're halfway through. How do you dial in for the last 2 rounds?
Primarily, I'm trying to keep it consistent with my routine when it comes to before the rounds, you know. I mean, it's nice that we pretty much play at the same time every day.
Yep.
You know, so I can kind of get in a rhythm there, you know, just staying relaxed after my rounds, making sure I eat a bunch of food, as much food as I can put in my stomach throughout the week to stay strong by Sunday, you know. I mean, I get a little jittery, so like I lose my appetite through tournaments. So it's like, as long as I have enough energy, I think it's always a good thing, and it will sustain through the final rounds.
Well, I'm not sure they saw it today. I don't believe that they did. We shot a little impromptu piece out on the course today, and we'll hold it. We'll hold it for tomorrow's broadcast. Things moved along so smoothly. We didn't have a lot of filler or extra things that were needed, but tomorrow they may see the Sarah Hokom pro tips along with her Zuka cart.
Oh yeah.
And what you can find. So there's your tease. We'll hold it out. If anyone's on the board and has anything you guys would like to chime in with,
I mean, what unsurprising item did I pull out of that bag?
There was one that I wanted to elaborate on, and I didn't because you were in the middle of everything. You had a few very interesting items.
I mean, the one you're talking about is primarily to shoot other players during downtime.
Okay.
I know you didn't know that there were finger holds in that thing, but there are. I know. You all are going to know soon. I know you want to know, and it's coming.
Tomorrow, you guys will get a little taste.
It could be a good trivia question. What random item can you shoot out of Sarah's Zuka cart?
Yes, fair enough. Best guesses? I'd love to see if there's any guesses on the board.
Totally unrelated to disc golf.
Yes, if you guys have a guess, we would love to hear it. I'm trying to keep up on the board to see if there's any questions otherwise that are coming in. As you mentioned earlier, where you had some of that southern hospitality and charm. As David said, all drinks are called a Coke down here.
Oh yeah.
When you just refer to a
You're
soda.
like, I'd like a Coke, and they'd be like, what kind of Coke? You're like, cherry? Vanilla?
Coca-Cola?
Do you have more than one Coke?
Coke Zero?
No, a Sprite. Oh, okay.
Oh, a Sprite Coke.
A Sprite Coke.
Exactly. So you've been in town now for longer than most of the players because you were here, you were doing some camping, you and Don just taking it all in. How far away is that from the course?
15 minutes. Craighead RV park.
Okay.
Craighead Forest Park has like this beautiful lake and all these walking trails and a bunch of fishing, and you know, we've just been really just taking in the camping life, you know, nice facility, affordable camping. And I got out here and I was able to just kind of get to know the course really, really well, and I think that has helped me, you know. I mean, it's a course that's so long and hilly that there's a lot of blind shots, and if you have to run up to look at where you're trying to throw after every shot because the next one's blind, you're going to be wasting a ton of energy. And so I was able to play basically 9 holes a day and kind of slowly work my way through the course and enjoy the local scene. I mean, the downtown area, the camping, the TD has been doing an amazing job. I mean, today actually we pointed out that there was like a kind of a drought of bathrooms, of porta potties.
Sure.
In a certain stretch of the course, and as soon as everybody found out about that, they grabbed a porta potty and brought it out to the course, and then
just like that,
all the women used it.
Ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, no, they're really been great, really.
They have been, and I think it's fair to say that although this event is under attended this year, there should be enough talk and conversation not only about the phenomenal payout, the huge added cash amount, how great the course is, how the hospitality has been, like everything is moving in all the right directions. I feel like if you're not here this year, you're definitely missing out.
Yeah, I mean, and I know that I'm going to get better at playing this course the more I play it. And if you weren't here this year, I mean, I got a little leg up now. I got to have 4 tournament rounds on the course.
Exactly.
Sorry, Katrina, you missed out, girl.
We had Yuli on the podcast last night on Smashbox, and he said that Katrina just she's got a regular vacation, and she's not here this weekend, and that's kind of different for you. I mean, because you're used to seeing her as one of your fellow competitors.
Oh yeah, always.
Every single weekend, and without her here, it's.
I've seen a few, she's taking this time, I think, for a friend or for a situation. And then, Val took a couple surprising weeks off last year for some weddings or whatever. But, I mean, family, friends first, really,
There's a life outside of disc golf.
I mean, for some people, I guess.
Yeah, not for me.
I don't know those people, but.
Yeah, sadly enough. Scott Williams on the board says, has Sarah ever tried to work on throwing backhand more?
Never.
Any concern about shoulder and elbow problems being primarily a forehand thrower?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, I work on my backhand quite regularly, and I throw 2 off a tee.
You do?
At this tournament.
Was there one on the front 9?
No. No.
Because I saw the one on the back 9.
There's 2 on the back 9.
2 on the back 9
There's
today?
2.
Okay.
I mean, I work on it a lot, and I mean, and that is actually, it gives me a little time when I'm having issues with my shoulder to I just practice the course backhand, the whole thing. And then I know that when I step up for the tournament, I'm going to throw this one sidearm, I'm going to throw this shot here and there, and that's how I manage it. I definitely think, throwing only one side has some biomechanical issues, even with good form. It's just anything you do over and over and over again, repetitive motions in all athletes causes issues.
Sure.
But I found a way to manage it, and I think that it's not something that I'm that worried about. I mean, I think that it's going to continue. I'll continue to manage it. I'm going to continue to get better at the backhand, and there you go. I mean,
is there a goal? In terms of, I mean, we just had Jen Allen, who obviously throws very far backhand and doesn't have the forehand that you do clearly. But is there a goal where you be able comfortably be able to throw backhands 400 or 350 or?
I don't necessarily look at a distance goal more than I do different shots and my confidence in throwing shots.
Okay.
I pretty much have a hyzer.
Yep, which makes sense.
And
because
so
you've got a great Anheuser
I manipulate the different discs depending on how much hyzer needs to end up in the disc. But everything is pretty much at a hyzer at the moment.
Sure.
So I'd like to be able to throw a consistent flat shot, and then someday I might find the need to throw an Anheuser.
Okay.
Mostly the Anheuser Flex is where I lose issues. I lose shots. I lose distance. I lose those kinds of holes that require an Anheuser Flex with a backhand.
Yeah.
I'm having to throw basically a hyzer, and I'm not
Exactly.
getting almost no distance. It's kind of how the backhanders have to play hole 9. The side armors get a nice Annie Flex, which I have poorly executed every round, unfortunately. But then the backhanders kind of have to just throw it out there and hope that they get a little distance and then trying to throw it up. So, I mean, those shots, I feel a disadvantage, but mostly, I mean, I work on it all the time. It's not something that I don't work on. But to find a level of confidence with a shot like that compared to what I can do sidearm it's not like I can just throw a backhand. Like I got to throw the backhand right there, like every time. Like I don't make that many mistakes with my sidearm, so it's like. Why would I throw something that I only hit half the time?
Exactly.
So that's where I'm at with it. It's just consistency. It's not that I can physically not throw the shot. I can. It just only happens 1 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Well, I mean, you got to go, as you said, you got to go with what's going to get the job done. You're out here to win.
Yeah, percentages on, I mean, sometimes I will push myself like, oh, I could throw this sidearm, but like, it's, like actually hole 15, I could actually throw a sidearm around the left side.
Sure.
No, I don't think anybody does it. But I think
could.
I saw, I'm like, okay, but the backhand is not that hard. It's like the one shot I can throw. So I get the experience throwing the backhand by challenging it in the event.
Okay,
so,
it makes perfect sense.
And I birdied it 2 out of 2. I birdied it once out of 2.
50%.
I mean, I'm 3 out of 4 on the backhands though. I got hole 13 twice.
That's pretty darn good.
Right?
I mean, how can you complain with that?
Don't tell me that there were some backhand players that didn't get those.
What? We're not going to talk about them as I'm looking down
like
hole 13
It's kind of like the Hokom test.
stats.
Like if I can get it backhand, it might be too easy.
Oh, okay. I was going to see if we have any other shots out here that might be interesting for us to watch. I'm looking at a few different putts and drives from some of our top players. How about let's move to a putt from Jessica on hole 17. I don't think I executed showing this earlier. I don't know if you remember this one.
She made a great putt. It was awesome. It was outside the circle.
Let's see if we can take a look.
Actually, and she had unfortunately an errant tee shot, and then she throws this awesome shot out of the woods, out of from Nowhereville, and it like actually clips a tree, and it actually kind of helps, and it like glides really nice down to the green. And then she makes a big old putt to save her par, and I threw it all the way up there, and then still almost didn't get my par. Left myself a little 12-footer.
Yeah, it was...
Again. No, I kind of berated myself after that one again. Like, I don't know why I'm doing that. I did that twice in a row on that hole. Exact same shot.
All right, let's see if we can watch Jessica's. I don't know why it's saying... I think it's ready to go, but it doesn't want to work because I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see if I can bring this back. Play the shot. We're going to cut to the shot.
She's got a nice Annie spin that she uses pretty much all the time that has a nice lay down if she misses, but it's always got a chance to go in a couple different flexes. So it's a nice putt.
It really is, and I'd love to show it to
there
people.
There it is.
Yeah, you're seeing it in the preview screen, but it's not working in my regular screen, and I don't know why, and it's really frustrating, even though Johnny V is telling me what to do. Darn it. I'm going to do this. And then, what if I bring it here, and how about, I'm going to try one more click. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Oh, I think that was it. Cha-ching!
Very nice. We're going to watch it a couple times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
there it is.
Give her some love there. Ching!
Solid putt just outside circle's edge?
I mean, it might have been farther. That might have been like 50 feet.
Yeah.
It was far. It was far.
It was a great putt. Yeah, so I'm glad we could finally make that work for you guys to see. Uncheck remember position. I think I was doing that, but anyway. Thank you, Johnny. I do appreciate it. Woohoo, yeah, exactly. I got it to work. All right, Sarah, anything else? It seems like this place is cleared out a little bit. Anything else that you got going on?
Nah, really. I'm just going to go.
Where's your crew? Who are you rolling with?
I'm with the Melodious Funk and Leslie, the dancer Todd.
Yeah, she's not raving somewhere? Or?
She is, actually.
Oh, okay.
After she she gets the band to play the one she likes.
Okay.
It's great though. We've got it dialed in. We're gonna go in and bust a move some more, and it's good, really good times here. Like I'm surprised that Jonesboro can get down like this.
I would love to take it in. Our cameraman found a local scene last night after the podcast, and we'll leave it at that. But anyway, hey Tom, good to see you, buddy.
They know how to party here. It's a dryish county. It's damp.
Yes,
it's a damp county.
Damp, as you like to say.
Right, it's damp. So you can only really purchase alcohol at the bars. So I think that might have something to do with how well they get down. Yeah, restaurants, bars. Only when you're out on the town.
Can you go get on the
No
action.
grocery store boozing.
Nope. Tom Julio writes, good buddy, says, good seeing you covering the beach here. Will Sarah be playing in our Michigan State final, the largest B tier in the nation.
Up at Ludington, one of my
Yes.
favorite courses in like a flip city, really.
Yep.
Probably not.
No.
Sorry.
Let's go,
It's usually over
Labor Day.
weekend.
And this week,
Yeah.
and that same weekend, I'm missing my favorite tournament in the world.
Which is Sandy Point,
You got it, Sandy Point Resort.
which is also amazing.
And it's because we're going to be at another amazing event, which is, I'll be there. You'll be there.
Green Mountain?
You'll-
Vibram?
Yeah, Vibram.
Vibram. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Vibram is Labor Day this year.
If you want all the best players to come to your tournament, don't schedule it during the Vibram.
Yes, and that's obviously
Maple Hill Open, is it?
Yeah, whatever it
I
is
don't know
this
what
year.
you
The
call it.
Maple Hill Open presented by Vibram,
There
the
we go.
Vibram Open, whoever Steve is going to go with. So, yeah, it's too bad that obviously being over at the Michigan State Finals is something that people have talked about for years. Sounds like an awesome event.
Yeah, and
It's always-
Leviathan is one of my favorites. I love
It's just not something that works into the schedule, unfortunately. Well, I think you're being. I think this is the
Is this-
wrap it up. Come on in, bring it in. Time to party.
it. Is.
Okay,
All right.
I'm gonna let you go.
I gotta go.
All right, thank you. Don't
Thanks
forget
for having
your,
me.
Yep.
you
And thank
tomorrow.
you. All right, we'll see you out there tomorrow. All right, again, of course, Sarah Hokom, you're totally in the lead halfway through the tournament here in Jonesboro. Being patient. We're going to see if we can find somebody else that we want to chat with. Is that the unofficial symbol? Yeah, sure. All right, and Chad, who's worked a camera on our catch cam throughout the weekend, he said that he's going to see if he can find some other people for us to have a conversation with. It's crazy to think it's a Friday night or that I don't have a life, that we're here hanging out. Thank you guys for tuning in, though. I promise I'm going to get better at this as things move on. Hey, Christy, move the back to the Vibram Open this year. I'm about to get signed up. Christy, hope all is well, and good to see and hear from you. So hard to get anything scheduled anymore with all the big events taking place. If you want to be on the big scene with all the big events, yeah, there's plenty of them. If you're more regional and you're looking to do just that, there's also plenty of options. But a guy that came onto the scene a few years ago, acing at the Vibram, hole number 8, and then later doing it right by getting himself a Smashbox TV tattoo. I'm going to welcome in. We're going to put this right on you, buddy. And we're going to welcome out of Kentucky, none other than Dutch Napier, otherwise known as Batman.
Batman. How you doing, Terry?
Good. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
I got to admit, I've been a little disappointed. Haven't seen you too much this year, and you're busy with the family life.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot more with the family this year. I missed out on quite a bit last year, and you know, the kids hopefully one day thank me for taking my time away from my passion, and hopefully giving them a better life and being there for, you know, everything that's going on. My daughter just turned 16. She's getting ready to start driving. Prom coming up. Yeah, all the fun things with that. Also, you know, my oldest 2 boys, they play with me, so I'm still going to be traveling and playing a little bit closer to home.
Okay. So introduce yourself. Again, we haven't seen you as much this year. I've known you now for a few years. It's great to be around you, and I know you're a super solid player. Where are you from, and who do you play for?
Yeah, I'm Dutch Napier. I'm from Jonesboro, Kentucky. I play for Team Prodigy, Boone Clothing, and also Combat Disc Golf out of Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Okay.
I'm currently traveling out and playing a few tournaments here and there, but trying to get as many of the Pro Tour events as I can in.
Yeah, well, let's take a quick look. How do you feel, before I even pull up a score or see where you're at, how do you feel like you've been playing?
The first day I didn't play as well. I missed some putts that were very makeable.
Okay.
And today I played a lot better and only had one mistake with hole 14, I
Hole
think,
14,
down
yep.
the hill.
Yep.
I didn't quite get over the hay bales. I left it a little low in the headwind, and it pushed it straight down on me.
Okay, well, I'm looking again, thanks to udisclive.com. You can go out there, you see that right now you're currently tied for 28th, and the Nico arrows, as they're called, for where people move in terms of position, which is awesome. We may call them that, but I think they're totally underplayed how useful they are. but the Nico arrow shows that you moved up 5 positions, so I don't have to do any math. I can just
Right.
look at this nifty little arrow and it tells me you moved up 5 positions today. You and Austin Turner. So did you guys play together?
No.
Okay.
No, he was on a different card. I actually played with Cam Todd, Jeff Russell, and Andrew
Fresno?
Andrew Rich.
No, Andrew Rich. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and I see Cam Todd. We were just referencing Leslie, his wife, but Cam Todd shot himself it looks like a bogey-free 7 under par, and he moved up 9 spots.
Yes, and
Were
he
you
also,
were you and him back and forth?
Yeah, for the most part. I started off a little flat, and he had some big putts early.
Okay.
But he missed a very couple uncharacteristic putts inside the circle that I kind of expected him to make. So
Yeah.
But he played real well. He hit he hit a lot of the fairways and definitely got inside the circle on most of his greens, I believe.
Well, let's talk a little bit about yours. I can actually just expand your column, so you don't even have to do any guessing. I can tell you exactly. As we were looking at some of the action here, you shot 6 down for the round. You're at 7 total. What was different today besides some obvious math? What was different today versus yesterday's round, did you say? Was it any one thing?
Well, I was driving real well yesterday, and I drove well today off the tee. But I put myself in position to score yesterday, but didn't connect on any of my upshots, and circle one putting was
Okay.
not great. So,
Okay.
but I just wasn't getting up and down from the fairways. But my drives were all real good though. So
Okay.
I'm driving good, just not far enough for these guys.
Well, it's pretty incredible. We're playing a nearly 10,000 foot course. You're averaging over 500 feet a hole. Do you feel like you're at any disadvantage when you don't throw as far as your Lizottes and your Wysocki's and some of those guys?
Yeah. You know, they have easier putts than I do on some of these longer par threes. You know,
Yeah.
some of the long par threes are just hard for me to get to. Hopefully, I can connect on a couple of those outside the circle putts and make some bonus putts tomorrow. So.
Yeah, I think of like hole 3, which comes in around 360 or 400 feet or so. I could do some.
I think it's 360, but it plays every bit of 430 or something.
Well, no, you're right. It says it's listed at 436.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, and then it plays like 460 then.
okay, because I see some of these guys throwing it and they make it look so easy. And to me, I'm looking at that the way I see a Wysocki throw it. I feel like he's putting in the same effort that I do on a 300 footer, but he's throwing it 436,
Right,
or
yeah.
440, 450. It's incredible.
Yeah, these guys are real good at what they do. I have to take an overstable disc and kind of turn it over to get a full flex. And you know, whenever I do get the perfect full flex, I'm still, you know, probably 45 short of the pin. So I'm having to take that chance of making the 45-foot jump putt versus, you know, some of these guys are getting it inside of, I guess you would call it bullseye target.
Yeah,
You know,
you're talking 11 or 9 feet or something
yeah,
silly like
yeah,
that.
these guys are putting them a little bit closer.
Well, and I think of another great example is hole 10. It's 360, and it's honestly, it's not birdied nearly as much as I would have thought it is. There are a number of birdies on it, but 360 feet, and I see AJ Risley, disc golf boy, Weston Isaacs, Jordan Wheeler, Mark Flanders, literally 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 birdies only on hole 10. Is that because of the bend or the way it finishes, or people are scared to putt on that elevated basket? What is it?
Yeah, 360, and then you elevate the basket. It definitely makes the greens a little faster. Plus, it runs off down to the right side of the green. And then also, you know, whenever you got that headwind coming down that tunnel and it turns you up and pushes you over into the shul a little bit, it's hard to get up and down from there even. I had to poke one through the woods today.
When you were out on the right side?
Yeah, I went into
Okay.
the right side of the fairway, and I pitched out through the woods and actually got it pretty close for a drop-in 3.
Okay.
It was a lucky shot. I told the guys, I was like, yeah, I got away with one right there.
The course owes me one, 'cause
Yeah.
it takes them away pretty
Oh,
easily.
that course really will take them away.
So when you get one every once in a while, you're like, meh, that sounds about right. That's good.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I saw Paige Pierce from outside circle 1. She had a very long putt for birdie, and she ran it hard and didn't connect with anything, and then had a full 25-ish or 28 feet as that comebacker, plus looking up the hill, and she didn't convert. And I just kind of felt like, you know, maybe in her case that smarter play might have been just to pitch it right to the base of the basket.
Right. Yeah,
that's dangerous.
That green it drifts away from the basket if you're on the left side of the fairway. So you got to be real careful whenever you're running at it. And plus, whenever you go down that hill, you're looking back up. That basket looks twice as tall.
It certainly does, especially when you're worried about giving away a stroke or two to the group.
Yeah.
When you're there, that's for sure. I'm flipping through some of ours. We didn't have any highlights on hole 10, but I'm going to set up this highlight. How about hole number 3? We were just talking about that hole. We were talking about driving it to the green. This looks like Simon Lizotte getting some work done. This is where his shot landed, and I think I can bring that up for everybody. That's where he landed.
Yeah, 22 feet. No, I'm not sure.
Good job, Simon.
Yeah. Way to throw it close.
Yeah, exactly. So Simon Lizotte, relatively easy tap in when you're looking at that. Now, one of the things that we'll talk about a little bit later, we're under 22 feet, but having a struggle out there was in fact Big Germ today. He had a couple of short ones that just he could not convert on. And if I can bring up the file correctly, it looks like I can play that over for you. Maybe I can't. Why is that always? I think there's a setting on here, and unfortunately, 1 second. Hold. Yeah, see, it's Johnny. I'm changing the default to loop, changing it that way, and it still doesn't do it for me. But here we go. I think we're going to be able to play Lizotte, and then let's go back to. It's so frustrating. Trying to play this clip, loop, default. Not sure what I'm doing. We'll watch Simon again, and then maybe we could watch Big Germ.
Was Germ next to putt, I guess?
No, that's the kicker. He doesn't. I was going to ruin it for everybody. But no, I'm trying to... Why? Let me clear things out. We'll bring it back here, and then maybe we could clip on Big Germ. Should not be so hard. I'll just keep showing you guys Big Germ standing there. All right.
Yeah,
I'm not good at this.
In the standing pose, he looks like he's a little frustrated with that for sure.
That is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
It was very early on. That I'm going to click to loop, set default.
It seems like I remember seeing him hit a big one on 5, maybe though.
Yeah, maybe I could play that. Maybe I can't. And I'm sure the whole board's yelling at me. I am so close. If you change the default, you have to re-import them. Hey, there you go, Johnny. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that now, which wasn't your fault. Wonder if... All right, well, I'm going to bring us back. I'm really good at this stuff. No, that's the preview. There we are. Now we're back.
Right.
All right. So, since I can't figure this stuff out, what's the game plan? Got 2 rounds to go.
I'm definitely looking to try to make every putt tomorrow, and hopefully, like I said, I'm looking to make a couple bonuses tomorrow. If I can make a couple of those extra jump putts and shave a few more strokes off and play the big holes good. I think I birdied 6 out of the 8 par 4s today.
Okay.
So as long as I keep playing them well, and then try not to make any mistakes.
Well, you only had 2 4s on your card. One was a mistake, you said, on hole 14 or 15, right?
Yeah.
And then on hole 18, which if you walk away with a 4 there,
right.
You can't beat.
I had more 4s than that.
Did you really?
Yeah. I think I 4'd hole 2. And then I also 4'd
I'm sorry, maybe
16.
I'm sorry. I guess I was looking at them in terms of birdies versus bogeys and such.
Right.
Yeah, I guess you did have a couple of 4s, but you said really the only true mistake on the card is the 1 bogey, and then you had the 7 birdies.
Yeah.
So very solid.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to collect a birdie on the first 3 holes, and then after that I try to get in the groove and start moving. Hole 4 is a very birdieable par 4. For a lot of the field. I don't know how it's playing as far as
Well, I'm sure I could click on some information.
Right? I don't know how it's planes apart, but it looks like a lot of people birdie that hole.
It looks like, again, I'm
the
sure
whole
there's
top 28.
yeah, top 28 people. So I'm going to click, if we go to our whole stats, again, I'm on udisclive.com. Someday I'll be able to bring this in and show it to you guys while I'm doing it, but that's another day. 63% of the field birdied hole number 4 today.
Yeah,
so,
that's a lot of people birdieing the hole for what it is.
Yeah.
But it's not quite a par 3 either, though. I mean, it's 600 feet or something, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
it's 585 feet.
585.
And again, 63% and 33% with a par. So ultimately, 96% of the people either had a birdie or a par on it. A little bit of scrambling, some circle 2 putting in regulation was solid there. So, but hole 4, yeah, got to go out there and make sure you capitalize on hole 4.
Well, it's a good place to get started, you know. And then hole 5, it's the first par 3, or well, no, it's the third par 3 that I don't go for. You know, it's hard to get across the OBs and everything. So after that, then I try to get hole 4 and hole 6 would be my first goes.
Okay.
Once I get those 2 birdies, then you know everything starts getting in a groove and getting moving.
Okay. Anything you'd like to share with the world?
You know, I just want to say thanks for all the support with my family and all my friends and fans and everybody that cheers me on and keeps up with me on UDisc and everything. Thanks to my sponsors and you know, thanks always to Smashbox for everything that y'all do. Because obviously, whenever you haven't seen me a lot this year, but I've been sitting at home watching y'all. Whenever you know, wishing I was there, but then again, you know, there's a lot of things that I would miss out on at home, and you know, being the dad is way more important right now than being the traveling professional. So.
Well, that's very awesome of you, and thank you for the accolades. We're going to continue doing what we're doing. We hope that everyone appreciates it. Hopefully, people are seeing improvements. I was saying earlier today that today was one of the most fun rounds, and I thoroughly enjoy being with Steve Dodge. He's such a character and so fun to be around and just such a great guy. But today was one of the most fun rounds I've commentated really in a long time, and I enjoy what I do. And maybe I had a little, you know, I wasn't doing the commentary at Nick Hyde, so maybe I'm just feeling it coming back from that. But today I just really enjoyed it. The pace was amazing. You know, so when you guys, the pros, are playing well and the pace is good, I'm having a good time. Our cameramen are getting dialed in. You know, Johnny and Gary are doing their thing. It really made things enjoyable today. I had a lot of fun out there. So
yeah, I can imagine fun with Steve Dodge. I always go back and watch those old Marshall Street DVDs and listen to him commentate those. I'm sure he had some good punches in there today.
He claims he wants to stick to stats. He's a numbers guy, and I'm really not.
I can see that.
So he wants to give us the numbers. He gives us those updates. So he chimes in with that, and I'm trying to talk about trees or flowers or the other things, the wind as it's coming in. And I feel like today I was a little more on point, and maybe it was a comfort that I had with Steve. Anytime you have 2 people, it makes it way easier. But it was a lot of fun, and I see a lot of players out there having fun. So I think it all kind of, you know, we all play off one another.
Do the people at home also think that as well? Whenever you have somebody else with you, like, do they really like it more and it's more fluid that way? You think?
It sounded like I got a little bit of feedback from today. It just sounded like people enjoyed the chemistry between Steve and I. And again, I think that's all Steve. He's so easy to play off of. But I think a lot of people have said throughout, and I wholeheartedly admit when you know, being alone, there's different pressures on me, and there's different things I have to, you know, and I have to maintain thoughts about what's going on with the show, and then maintain thoughts about the golf. And when you have someone else that knows what they're talking about, that can kind of elaborate on their own thought for a minute or two, and I can, you know, gather my thoughts about something else, or worry about something from the production side, it makes everything flow so much better. So
nice.
And again, I'm not worried about the numbers. Steve worries about, you know, about those.
Yeah, you're not having the extra pressure of keeping up with everything.
Exactly. Yeah. So it makes things a little bit easier, and I think people seem to enjoy it. So
nice. Well, yeah, I just want to say to my son, I know he's going to listen to this tomorrow. It's probably past his bedtime at home, so But that's what he does on Wednesday mornings before he goes to school. He watches the podcast
Awesome.
to know what's going on with the disc golf world. So.
Sweet.
So, but yeah, I'd like to tell them hi and I love them and everything, and I'll be home soon.
All right. Again, this is Batman Dutch Napier. We're seeing him a little bit more. He's doing some real work at home, hanging out with the family, and when he's not on tour, he's watching us on Smashbox. So we
That's
appreciate
right.
it, pal.
Yeah, thank
Good
you, Terry.
seeing you, man. Good
Yeah.
shoot well tomorrow.
I think this might be the first time I've done it without Johnny being around.
Well, Johnny's chiming
around,
in.
though,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
he says he's going to get stuff fixed up for me. But
Nice.
Johnny's chiming in, and huge props to Johnny for walking me through some of this process tonight. Clearly, this is the program Johnny normally kind of works in, so he
Oh,
knows
nice.
all the ins and outs. And he gave me the rundown, but I'm clearly not fully up to speed. I'll get there.
Is that how he feeds in the women's
Yeah,
action?
this is all.
Okay,
this
sweet.
is. I mean, he's using a slightly different program now, but this is the meat and potatoes of what he's always been doing. So I've never claimed it's been easy, and it's not, and I'm just not familiar with it yet. But I'll get there.
Right. Yeah. Keep
All right,
working
buddy.
hard.
Appreciate it, man. We'll try.
We'll see y'all later.
Thanks, buddy.
Maybe. If I can get out of here.
Yeah. Here, I'll get it. I got it. I got you. Take care of that, and you can take those off. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Terry.
it. All right, again, Dutch Napier joining us. I saw Simon Lizotte. Dutch, could you see if Simon's out there still, maybe? Is there a Simon Lizotte sighting? We may, in fact, be able to catch up with Simon here. Bring on Chad. Ridge Roller Custom says, Joe, good to see you or hear from you, buddy. Thanks for being out there. If we can, we might get a quick conversation out of Simon. He's one to take in the tournament scene, is how I'll say that. And I'd really like to get our Johnny. Maybe you could tell me. Maybe I need to re-import all these clips. Maybe I'll do just that. Is re-import all of these clips, and if I do that, then maybe I could bring them on one at a time for Johnny. I don't know if there's an easy way to delete them all, but I might. We've got a lot of great clips, so I feel bad that I'm haven't been able to show them to you as easily as Johnny makes it go. But if I could bring these clips back in for you guys, I think you might really thoroughly enjoy them. So let me get into position here. Jonesboro highlights, and you can bring anything you want, buddy. Is there one for me? No. Okay. All right. I'm gonna. No, you could. Yeah, we're live.
Oh, you are?
I'm producing the show, which I've never done before. So we're gonna put that on. I'm gonna put this on you. Oops. There we go. I'm gonna put this on you, and go ahead and put those on. And if I turn this up, we might be able to hear you. A little mic check. Mic check.
Oh wow, everything sounds weird.
You're hearing us all through this board. Sure.
Oh, we're here.
Look at,
Okay.
yeah, there we are. That's the live screen. I think.
No,
If this-
no Johnny.
No Johnny. I'm running the show here.
Cool.
And then Johnny's just yelling at me on YouTube, telling me what I'm doing wrong. So we're making it work. Yeah,
All
there's
right.
no easy way to delete.
Was
So
Sarah
let's-
here earlier?
Sarah was here.
Okay.
Jen opened the show. Then Sarah came on. Then we had Dutch, Batman. And here's what I'm going to try, buddy. Let's see if we can go right to, since you're the man of the hour, maybe we could even show somebody this putt taking
Oh,
place
that's hole 2?
on hole number 2.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was,
just off.
I think 1 inch high. 1 inch.
Okay.
Just
well, we'll get back off that.
I haven't missed too many putts. though.
You have not. So what I'm going to do is see if we can actually bring in a few more clips thanks to some of the work that Johnny did. We're also going to move over to hole number 2. And if I bring in this clip, maybe you can walk us through. I tried to show this a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
I'm going to close. Let me see if I can close this for a second so you and I can see what's going on. Here we are. What happened there?
And a short one
That
for
is,
German.
did you see his
What
putt on
about
18
beside him?
yesterday?
I did not.
It was that maybe slightly further, but he completely airballed it on 18
And a
yesterday.
short one
And
for
I don't know, it's
German.
something with his
A
head
little
is
bit
just
beside him.
wrong. That, I think he tickled one chain from 15 feet, and then he did the same thing on
And a
6.
short,
or 7.
Yeah, I
6.
think we may or may not have that. I may be able to get to that. And we're not trying to pick on Big Germ, of course. But okay, you might be. But as I'm going through this, we might actually be able to look at a few of these. I talked about this with Dutch. He said you and some of the other long throwers out there have an advantage when you step up to a hole like hole 3 and it's 435 feet. This is all you're left with for your birdie putt.
Looked a little low.
And you're able to tap it in from what, 22 feet, if even?
Looked a little low.
Yeah, it's not a far hole though.
Well, he says he doesn't throw as
Looked a little
easily, as far as you, as easily as
Who said
someone
that?
like you. Dutch was saying that.
Oh, okay.
Batman.
Yeah.
And
But I mean, saying long holes is an advantage for players who throw further is like saying, I don't know, wooded holes are advantage for players who throw a good sidearm. If you are better at sidearm, then I won't say you have an advantage just because you're better at it.
no, certainly, and clearly you're better at it because you've practiced and you've put forth the perfect mechanics for it. I mean, there's no doubt that Paige Pierce and Katrina Allen are both better at backhands than like 99% of the male population,
Right.
Because they practice and they're good at it. So there's nothing to be taken away from any of those players. Dutch was just saying that some of those holes, you are putting from a much closer distance because he just simply can't get there.
Well, yeah, it's true.
Some simple, obvious math and economics there for you guys. So I'm going to see if I can bring in another, speaking of Paige Pierce, looks like we have a clip from here on hole 5. I don't know if we're going to see Paige tonight. So I'm going to bring in this clip.
We
and
just got done playing putt-putt, and they were tired, went home.
Okay, so who won at putt-putt?
I did. I won by 1 stroke on the last hole.
Who was all there, and how close was it?
We were 3 players tied on the last hole. We were 9 players. It was Germ, Austin, Cody, what's his name? Chris, Paige, Jan, me, and what's the long hair, ponytail?
James Conrad.
Yes. And one other guy. Zach Melton.
And Zach Melton, okay.
Great crew.
Lots of hair. I mean, Zach's hair,
Totally.
Conrad's long hair, and you won it all. Now,
I did win.
Traditionally the last hole in a lot of putt-putt is once you complete it, the ball then goes away. That's the end of your game.
Not
Is that
in
true here?
Jonesboro.
Not in Jonesboro. So did you pick up the ball and go play another round?
We played 36 holes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unique holes? Or I mean,
Yes.
2 sets of 18?
No, it was 2 18-hole courses. We played every hole.
Okay, wow. And when it was all said and done, you won by a stroke.
Yep. Chris, Cody, and his name's Cody, right? Cody Bradshaw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cody Bradshaw.
We were all tied on the last hole because we kept score the whole way, but we weren't paying attention. Before the last hole, we counted everything, and us 3 were tied.
Wow.
That was pretty cool.
Was there any hole-in-ones?
Chris Dickerson had 7.
And he wasn't leading?
He went like 1 5, 1 4, 1 5, 1 5.
Who had the next most? If Chris had 7, somebody had to have 4 or 5.
No, I think the next best was 3.
What?
I think Cody had 3. I had
How
2.
tough was this place that he had 7 hole-in-ones?
Like the easy holes, he got like the completely fluky holes.
What?
He just like railed off 20 banks and in like 7 times. Ridiculous. That was crazy.
I'm sorry, that's one of the most impressive stats I've heard after 36 holes of golf.
We were just laughing the whole time. It was pretty good.
Huh. Okay, well that makes sense. Let's see if we can get to another one of the shots. This is Paige Pierce. It's labeled on hole 5. Let's see if we can see what happened here. Maybe, nope, that's you. So here's Paige's shot for birdie.
Wow.
That was a solid putt. We're going to watch that again.
I don't recognize what hole that is.
It's labeled as hole 5. And I wasn't out there yet at the time this morning, so I'm not sure if that was for sure, but I would believe that.
It's a little low.
It's not hole 5.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. So that was labeled out there. I'm going to continue to bring in some other shots.
Good putt though.
Very solid putt by Paige Pierce. And then we have a lot of shots from the men's card that were featured live on Smashbox today. I'm going to pull some of these in and see if we can view them. I don't know, I'm going to pull those in there and then move, I don't know.
Wow, there's so much going on the screen.
Computers are tough. There's you. Did we show this one?
We had that one already.
Okay, that was a good putt by you. How
No,
about,
I missed it.
oh, it wasn't. Never mind. How about hole 18, Johnny McRae?
And as Steve Dodge.
Did we miss it?
I don't know. I'm not very good at this. Let's see. We're gonna pull in a few other shots here.
It was a good putt, Johnny.
Yeah, this is why Johnny's so critical, is because he knows what's going on. What about your approach on hole 4?
Very
Oh, why
distracted
show this
for our
one? That was
players.
really bad.
The gallery's trying to get into position just as the media is. And
Really hit a tree.
sometimes
Really
those,
bad.
Extra footsteps.
What were you thinking?
Very distracting.
I was
for our
thinking do
players.
anything but hit
The
that
gallery's
tree.
trying to get into position just as the media is.
Okay, so we're gonna move
And
off of that
sometimes
one,
there's,
That was really bad.
and we'll see if we can bring in some other shots.
But in return, it was good for my round because I hit like a 35-footer to boost my confidence.
You did. Well, look at that. I have the follow-up to that.
Sweet.
Now, here we go. So after you hit the tree, this is what happens.
Huge.
Wow, that-
putt
You never
by
had a doubt.
Simon Lizotte.
So good.
I mean, like you weren't even remotely concerned about that going in.
Oh yeah, I looked
Huge
away
putt
from
You
by
it.
did.
Simon
You're like,
Lizotte.
Ain't no thanks.
I
Okay.
like it.
Well, that is very solid.
I was putting good today. I don't know what it is, but lately in tournaments, I can't really miss.
Wow.
I mean, I do miss, but I feel like I can't miss, which is great.
When you're playing hole number 5, do you think at all about going for that one? And
I did in the first round go to 5, so that kind of ruined my first day.
And yet Big Germ is 2 for 2 on eagles there. Here's hole number 5. We're looking at Ricky Wysocki throw his very easy approach shot. 495 feet
splashes in front of the
downhill.
basket.
You should be driving that green.
I know, but it's mental. It's like a double island. I mean,
Wysocki.
not many people are throwing it, and it's just too frustrating to risk getting a bogey, or even like I did the double bogey yesterday. So
Okay.
I'm just going to keep laying up, take a 3, and move on.
Well, and speaking of eagles, this is
You
Big
also had to
Germ.
go to the drop zone.
What do you think about that? That's a huge
Tough inbounds.
risk
taking
to go
high
for the
from
shot,
Lizotte
and then he
moment.
converts.
Had he been happy, he would have also had to go to the drop zone.
Why are you laughing?
First off, it's amazing that his drive
Tough
went 60
inbounds
feet
and
past
taking
the
high from
basket,
Lizotte
which is like a
moment.
500-foot hyzer,
He would have also had to go to the drop zone.
and he was inbounds by like 2 inches.
Yep.
And then a
Tough inbounds
headwind,
and taking high from
60-footer
Lizotte
just straight in the whole way. It was absolutely beautiful.
Especially after he's missed a few putts from like 6 feet by that
Yeah,
point.
show his putt on the next hole.
I'm not sure that we have it, but I'm going to continue scrolling down, trying to give you guys the highlights. Jonesboro, we're going to take a quick look at this highlight. We've already showed this one a few times, but you haven't seen it.
Who's that?
This is Jessica Weiss from the lead card,
Yep.
and I think I've got it all queued up that you can actually watch this shot. And this is Jessica on hole 6.
Wow.
Right off the front of the basket. That look, I think your audio just matched her video as she turned around and looked at the camera.
Ah, I missed by like a millimeter.
That's exactly what Sarah Hokom had said. We'll show it one final time.
That's it. I want to ace that hole tomorrow. I'm just going to say that.
I'm going to say this. When we were walking from 5 to 6 and, you know, Big Germ had just made the long shot, I think I said to the rest of the crew, like, all right, guys, let's get an ace on 6.
Yeah.
Clearly, you guys have to throw the shots, but we're excited because we'd love to see an ace happen there. It just sets up perfectly.
I feel like it's going to happen.
Okay. Is it going to be you tomorrow?
I don't care.
You just want to see the ace.
I want to be there, and I want Jerem to be there.
Well, we talked about that with Yuli last night, that Germ has to be there. He's always there for the aces, and he did it again this last weekend. We got Ricky Wysocki.
that was almost spit out.
We'll talk about this. I'll show it for everybody here. This is Ricky Wysocki for a birdie on hole
And
number
a
7.
collective
From the
gasp
side
here
view,
in
and
the
I was
crowd
like,
as everyone.
And then it just barely fell back in. It was
You see
And
Ricky
a
hesitate. I
collective
think
gasp here in the crowd
Ricky
as everyone.
hesitates on a lot of his putts because when he throws them so hard, there's a chance for him to
And
spit
a
back or
collective
possibly go
gasp
straight
here
through the
in the
basket.
crowd as everyone-
And this time, they gave him a good reason to pause.
Yeah, I mean,
And
he seems more shaky from like 15 feet than he does from 30.
And maybe because the 30
Because of
footers are
spit out.
somewhat slowing
Oh,
down.
He makes it in the middle every time, but like for spit out reason, he like every 12 footer he's like swing. And like I'm surprised every time it sticks, but that's just the way he does it.
I've seen a few come out, and I can't say that I'm always surprised, only because, like you said, he putts with such authority. He's so strong in his putting. We've got a putt here on hole 8 that we can talk about. It looks like it's Johnny McRae on the card. And solid. Hole 8, I'm trying to remember how that plays. 324, that's is that the little kind of pitch hyzer that comes around that everybody should birdie?
Hole 8?
Yeah.
No, I threw a roller on that. Like high roller and then just like dump right. It's a short hole. Everyone throws sidearm. Johnny threw a putter.
Okay, yes, correct. Sorry. Okay, yep.
And I threw my D-line FD on this crazy roller line, which is
Tell us
different.
about that.
I thought it's cool.
I mean, it was cool because it worked.
I
But
think
why are you not just throwing a forehand?
it's just exactly that range for sidearm where I have to throw where I have to give it all I got, and I just don't feel as comfortable as throwing this funky little trick roller.
Okay. Hole 8. Here's Ricky Wysocki's
Oh,
drive.
this has to be really close.
This is from our catch cam, so thanks to Chad out there. Sorry, I'm ignoring the board if you guys are talking about anything out there, but this is
Wysocki
Wysocki's
here
drive
on the
coming
tee.
in on
This
hole
shot
8.
plays from left to right, sets up perfectly for the forehand.
Very
Wysocki
close.
is 2 feet
Great camera work there, Chad. I definitely want
Wysocki
to say
here on the
that.
tee. This
Following
shot
that
plays from
beautifully.
left to right, sets up perfectly for the
Just about
forehand.
sticking it in.
Wysocki is 2 feet away.
We'll watch it.
Austin Turner said
Wysocki
he hit
here on the tee. This shot
the-
plays from left to
what do you call
right,
it, the yellow
sets up
man.
perfectly for the
Chapter
forehand.
Belts, some say?
Wysocki is 2 feet away.
All right, one last time by
Wysocki here
Wysocki.
on
I
the
don't
tee.
think the
This shot
results are going
plays
to
from
change.
left to right, sets
But
up
a beautiful
perfectly
shot
for
by- there by Ricky. So pretty solid. Let me continue to roll through your round here for you, buddy. Let's see what else we can find. Some of these other shots. This looks like a putt from you on
this
hole
hole.
9. Do you want to set this one up?
I mean, hole 9 is one of the tougher ones to get a 3 on, and it feels like a bonus 3. And if you get a putt like this putt right here, it's kind of like you really got to decide if you want to run it or not, because it's downhill, kind of windy in that little corner.
With the knee bend, a little
But,
body English.
I don't miss.
You don't. Just outside the circle's edge. And yeah, there was no. There was really
With the
no
knee
doubt.
bend, a
Body
little
English.
body
there, make sure we're
English.
in.
Like as soon as I have like a little downhill angle, I just feel so much more comfortable making those putts. Like the opposite with my uphill shots. Uphill putts,
With the knee bend, a little
the basket
body
is so much
English.
smaller.
Huh. Interesting perspective. At that time, you were 15 under par and sitting in second
With
place.
the knee bend, a little.
All right, we'll see if we can move on. Tell everyone what beverage of choice you're enjoying at the moment.
I don't know. I didn't buy it,
Oh, okay.
but it's an IPA. I love it.
And you heard Nate and Val, who love to brew IPAs.
Yeah.
Were just in Wisconsin last weekend, and
I
there's
heard
a
that.
collaboration beer. I think they're going to be back at the Glass Blown, and you may
Yeah.
be able to get yourself some IPAs there. Is that always your drink of choice?
Always,
Okay.
every day.
Every day, only when you have beverages, though, of those kinds, which isn't
Exactly.
every day. Okay.
Not
There
every
was a putting competition that went on here earlier tonight. Now it seems like a bunch of
Drunk people.
drunk people throwing around frisbees. I'm going to continue to bring in some
Jesus.
highlights.
They're missing everything, by the way, people.
All right, so I've got hole number 11. I'm not sure what kind of highlight this is. Par
Yeah.
4. Is this worth us showing to the world?
That was a great upshot. I
All
mean,
right,
no,
here it
no one
is.
else
To
takes the
win.
line. I take a
Simon
hole.
has an amazing approach.
Yes.
This is. He's
Little
going to have the
little brush
easiest
off the
birdie.
branches,
Whoever
but
took the
would have
win.
been good either
Simon
way. But
has an
just to
amazing
be
approach.
on that side of the fairway is kind of unique
This
because
is-
everyone else takes the hyzer and I went
He's
like
going to have the
sky
easiest
and
birdie,
hyzer.
whatever it took to win.
I throw like 90 degrees
It's an
in the wrong
amazing
direction off the
approach.
tee.
Will you be taking that route the rest of the
This is-
weekend?
Maybe
Assuming
not.
the wind's the same and
The wind was really bad today.
Okay.
Hopefully the wind changes up a bit and then I can actually. I had a putt in practice for it too.
Well, I had said to, which is very impressive, I had said to Steve Dodge, he said, this doesn't seem like the route. Everyone else is going to have these shorter pitch shots. I said, but Simon has a bigger gap. I mean, with where you were, yeah, you had a little bit of tree to deal with where you landed, but you can attack that pin. You can see the whole pin.
Yeah.
It's not a blind forehand or a blind turnover from where you were. I thought it looked like a genius shot. And I'm not just saying that because you're here on the show, but I said it in the broadcast, and Steve's like, I don't know, and I'm like, no, he's got this huge, swath of land to work with, and those guys were tight up against the trees and had to throw a blind shot onto a hillside, and you're coming in flat.
Yeah, it has advantages, but the only reason I really take that line is to get a chance at eagle. But in this wind today, there wasn't really a chance, so I just did it like to be different.
And to make our cameramen completely confused.
And to have Steve Dodge talk about it.
Someone had said that if Simon's going to continue to take Simon lines, he's going to have to carry his own camera around so that we can see where they're going.
I like that.
Because we don't know, and we can't always follow what you're doing. This looks like hole number 12, a par 4, and we'll see who we have lining up. This looks like Matt Dollar, who wasn't on your card.
Oh, no thinking. I like it.
A long putt by Matt Dollar. He marks it, steps up, throws.
Did he shoot good today? I didn't really check scores yet.
That's a great question. Thanks to UDisc Live. I'm going to go out and take a quick look. We have been checking out the scores. You came in, you moved up one spot today. Now you're at 23 under. You had the hottest round of all players at the 13.
Matt Dollar shot 4. Okay, that's not great.
Yeah, Matt Dollar fell off the pace a little bit. He opened with a 10 under and then followed up today with a 4. So he moved down 5 spots. Devin Owens moved up 9 spots. Lewis Bittney, who I saw earlier tonight, he had dropped 4 spots. And then James Conrad, Chris Dickerson, 3 and 4 spots respectively. So same lead card tomorrow. So both on the women and the men's side, same 4 players. I think I know the answer, but do you care who you shoot with?
Chris Dickerson had 7 hole-in-ones playing putt-putt today, so who knows what he will do tomorrow.
So he really should be on the lead card. Getting filmed is what he should be doing.
Yeah, Johnny after the round said, there's no way I'm going to be on the lead card again, guys. Good luck tomorrow. And I was like, I don't know. I kind of was checking live scores here and there, and I was like, the other guys are struggling too. And it looks like we're going to be the same group tomorrow. The first round it was Rick, German, me too on the first card.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, right around hole 17 is when Steve Dodge was looking at the stats, UDisc, and he said, if McRae bogeys this, he'll be off the lead card.
And then he made that good putt.
And then he makes,
Clutch.
he has to really lay up. He doesn't go more than 80 feet on his second shot, and then throws a great drive and then makes a clutch putt to finish out the round.
Yeah.
Keeps him on that lead card.
Yeah.
Definition of clutch?
Yeah.
All right, so Matt Dollar's shot. I got a few more shots that we can talk about here. This is also in the queue. This looks like you. Now here's a slightly uphill putt on hole number 13.
Oh yeah, the hyzer hole, okay.
And here we go.
Oh, that was a good putt too. Wow, I forgot all my good putts.
You got a few. It looked a little high.
And jumped just outside.
That was
It
perfect.
came in nicely, but it looked like it might have been a little high out of your hand. And did it have a little more
And
height?
jumped just outside.
That was perfect.
He says it's perfect. I'm not going to argue with him. That looked perfect. You were stepping off to the side. What were you?
It felt a little high and hyzered.
Okay. All right. We're going to move on also over to this highlight. May or may not be a highlight. Looks like hole 15. This is
Oh, he just parks it. Yeah.
absolute. This is a must-get hole, and People were like clamoring about yours to go in. That
That wasn't even close.
didn't have a chance.
No.
Not
I
even
threw
a
it, I
chance.
released it, and I was like, oh, I thought I did the same mistake I did yesterday, but it wasn't as bad. I still got up and down on that, the easiest one on the course, really.
All right. Well, McRae gave it a chance. Let's watch it here. Or not, since that clip seems to be jacked up. All right. That one is not my fault, actually.
Thanks, Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny. Something seemed to be jacked up with that clip. McRae doing a little two-step on the tee pad. Not sure what that was about. Hole 15, again, easiest hole on the course, as you had just said, and this looks like big germ action. He's lining this one up. Do you feel silly if you don't birdie that?
Good putt by Jeremy.
And big jerk.
Should he have been that far away?
No. His tee shot was, he threw a bunch of really, really bad tee shots today.
And big
And?
jerk.
He still, that's the big difference between pros and AMs, is that we throw, in this example, Jeremy threw a bunch of really, for his standards, bad tee shots, and just still shot almost a great round. He still shot a good round, but it was still almost great. And that's just the difference, that it feels and looks kind of not great, but we still score.
Well, we kind of make the joke, I think I made it once today even, Ricky Wysocki could shoot an 18 under and still be frustrated with how he
Jeremy
threw
and I
some
were
shots.
talking about this after the round. Ricky was not pleased with one shot of his whole round today.
And
I don't know if you were listening to what he was saying or after his shots, the reactions, but I wouldn't say 100%, but 80% of all throws he threw, he was like, oh God.
Yeah, he
Like,
said,
oh
oh God,
no.
quite a few times.
80% of his tee shots. And then he birdies everything. It's ridiculous.
Is one of the lines that I kind of miss hearing when he throws, and instead of maybe he blurted out a few oh gods today. Normally it's junk. He's usually, that's when he's really disgusted with one of his shots.
Yeah, yesterday on hole 18, he threw the shot I had on 18, my tee shot today, like perfect.
Yep.
He threw that yesterday, and he was like, "Oh no, that's horrible." And I was like, "Dude, you're in the perfect spot." And he said, "No, junk." I was like, "Oh, Ricky, you're great."
He's got very high expectations. Here we're on hole 17. Looks like we've queued up a putt by Johnny McRae. We'll see what he's got going on here. And was he a little distracted? I was a little ways away. He turned around. He kind of looked behind him. Do you know if there was a distraction possibly back there?
I am not sure, but
Okay.
this putt was not his mistake on this hole. It was his upshot.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
threw
he
a
was
good
in
drive, and the upshot was easier, and he kind of fluffed it.
and they kind of hyzered out as it got toward the pin.
Yeah, he was really disappointed with his upshot, and then the putt was really makeable, but he missed it by like, when he released, I thought it was in, and he missed by like an inch at most.
Just a little bit too high there. We're gonna move on, and it seems like bags is being set up here. If you come down to the brick house, looks like you could enjoy playing a game of bags. Right here, there's been a putting competition, bags, cornhole. Yeah, there's I guess a lot of different names depending on where you're from. Johnny McRae here. This is hole 18. I think we showed that one earlier.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of. Yeah, maybe I didn't do it correctly. Well, we'll show his putt here on 18 because I think I've got him dialed in now. Yeah, it seems like that came in late, Johnny.
And
Johnny D put
Steve
together a
Dodge.
highlight reel for us.
Oh,
And
yeah,
that one
we didn't
came in
receive
just
that.
a little bit late.
As Steve
This
Dodge.
is you on hole number 18. Do you want to set up the shot?
And as Steve Dodge.
Kind of more people watching, so a little extra nerves, I would almost say.
Slightly uphill.
Slightly uphill.
Solid
and
putt.
Last putt of the day. I know my goal. I was doing commentary
Solid
for
putt.
Jonas earlier today with Germ, and after we were done, we just said bye, and I told him, Germ, I'm going to shoot a 52 today, by the way, and then I left, and that putt was for 51. So I knew in the back of my head, like if I miss, I still win the bet with Germ at least.
What are you, I'm not sure what Charlie Goodpasture has going on. Is it a $20 bill for me?
$20 bill. I just found it on the ground.
Oh, yeah, I think that was from us earlier or something. For
Right.
some beers that I could drink right now. There are a couple questions on the board. Blue Boy 2727 says, What holes does Simon think he can make moves on the lead? I mean,
Every hole out there is a birdie hole.
Yeah, you can birdie every hole.
Maybe not hole 5, but everything else. Because hole 5 I'm laying up, and I know Rick is too.
You guys talked about this ahead of time.
No, I just know his game plan.
All right. Does Simon know why Eagle did not come this weekend?
Yes, of course I know that.
That we're sharing for the world.
He wanted a break.
He wanted a break.
Simple
And
as that.
I know I mentioned it a couple times, but we got to say it again. Celebrated his birthday yesterday.
He did. He's now freaking 19.
19 years old.
19, Eagle. There you go.
Yes. Happy birthday for the 10th time, Eagle. Blue Boy's concerned about Ricky's attire. He says that if he could learn how to dress himself, he could become one of the all-time greats. I'm not sure attire necessarily relates to your caliber of play.
I don't mind the way he dresses.
Okay.
I've seen.
I think I've showed most of the highlights here, but if not, I'm going to do a quick run through because now I actually know how to play them. It seems like we've got most of everything that Johnny at least had queued up, so I do appreciate Johnny. The one that I think is worth replaying, again, I know we.
Page?
No, this one is par.
17?
Yep, I'm going to show it again because I think it's a great putt. That's from like way downtown. Just outside circle, slightly uphill. She had struggled. Thought it was a good putt. Very nice to see. And in the women's division, it's no surprise, it's very competitive. Have you seen any of the scores? Was there any talk at the
I have
putt
checked
course?
out. Yeah.
You got any predictions?
Jerm asked Paige, how did you do today? And she said, really, 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 really bad.
Okay, there was 6 reelies in there.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Okay.
Sarah, isn't that Sarah's first bogey?
I don't know if that's the case or not.
I'm not sure either, but I think I checked the scores yesterday. I think Sarah played bogey free, but I might be
she
wrong.
had 3 yesterday.
Oh, someone was bogey free. Oh yeah,
Jessica
Paige
was close. Paige was bogey free.
Oh, I got that mixed up.
I can see that.
It happens.
It happens once
But
in a while.
I checked the scores.
Yeah, so Hokom right now sitting at 5 under, Weiss at 3, and Paige at 2. So just like the men's card, the women's leader card from today remains the same for tomorrow. However, the big move in terms of scorers was Jennifer Allen shot the 4 down. She had the hottest women's
They
score.
switched.
No, she moved.
Are they playing threesomes?
They're only playing threesomes, correct. So she moved up a spot. Paige moved down a spot, but Allen got closer
Yeah, 4
to the
down's
rest of the
really
women.
good.
So shooting a 4 down, the hottest women's score. And again, Sarah Hokom in the lead. On the men's side, any major shifts on the second card? As we said, the lead card staying the same. I don't know if we saw too much on the men's side. Chris Dickerson is going to be on the second card. James Conrad, Lewis Bittney, and Devin Owens all will be on the second card. So should be good. Some good stuff out there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Halfway through, any thoughts? Any concerns? Now that we're halfway through the tournament. 72 holes for a B tier at 10,000 feet around is no joke, is it?
Yeah, and we already played a couple of practice rounds, so we're going to play this course like 8 times.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful course. We've mentioned that a lot of times, but we don't have to play it 8 times.
It has been pretty grueling on you guys. And then you go to GBO next weekend, correct? Or in 2 weeks?
2 weeks. Yeah, I'm gonna be in Memphis for a couple of days. Hopefully see some good music. And we're going to stop in Springfield for a clinic, in Kansas City for a clinic. We'll do a combine with Avery also in Kansas City. And then GBO week, and then home for 5 days. Yeah.
Wow, you're heading back home.
I'm flying home to my hometown with Eagle, actually.
Okay.
5 days. And then we're going to drive together to Prague from there, and then fly from Prague to San Francisco.
Wow, so pretty busy. As always,
Oh.
You're always busy.
Non-stop.
Non-stop. All right, tell Simon his headwind drive with the yellow PD2 yesterday was bonkers.
Bunkers? Bonkers? Is that like good?
That's good, yeah, bonkers, like awesome.
It was really good.
Which one?
It was hole 13, I think.
Okay,
It was hole 13.
okay. James Conrad hit the basket on 14 from the
No,
tee
it was
pad
14
today.
then. It was 14.
Okay. Yeah, that's the
As
long.
was the long downhill.
Yeah, I'm guessing the same.
I missed the basket by like a foot.
Okay, and James hit it today.
Yeah. I heard about that, and James was bragging about that putt.
As he should be.
Absolutely. That's a killer shot.
That's pretty amazing. See you in KC. Firearm Disc Sport says that they'll see you in KC. Like Kansas City? You play in the wide open? What are you doing in KC? Or do you have a clinic or Discmania?
On Friday, there's some event going on, and I'm not sure. And then Saturday is the Combine with Avery, and then Sunday is the Flying Circus.
Okay. Well, I think we could close this thing out. It's been a lot of fun here tonight. I want to thank Johnny, of course, for helping get me set up and ready to go. I think next time is going to be a lot smoother. I can promise you guys, in fact, that it's going to be smoother. I'd like to thank Brad, who's still here from the tournament, along with the rest of the staff and crew here at Brick House. And we had a whole bunch of guests tonight. We had Jen Allen that opened the show, Sarah Hokom that was here. We had Dutch, aka Batman, and Simon Lizotte as well. So for Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, on the Disc Golf Guy channel, in conjunction with Smashbox and the Disc Golf Pro Tour, thanks for joining us. You'll see Simon and the rest of the Pro Women's lead card all during the live round tomorrow, starting at 3 p.m. Central, as we bring it to you from Jonesboro, Arkansas. We'll see you guys then when you step inside the Smashbox.